Well, hello there. Thanks for joining us. Now, the Kiira EV, I was talking here with Paul Bushariz, who has joined me. It is a beast. That is how he calls it. So the Kiira EV is on the road finally, and it looks very amazing. Well, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
That is that a beast?
That's what it's nicknamed. That's what it's nicknamed, I think.
Well, it is an electric hybrid vehicle designed and built in Africa. Wow, well done, Uganda. Should we be very excited about this?
Well, I think on a basic level that we've been able to prototype, because that's what it is. It's a prototype. It's the design on which full-scale production will be based on. So we've been able to prototype the car. So I think there's cause for celebration in that respect. Yeah.
And it's a 5-seater.
Yeah, 5-seater, a normal sedan car, saloon car, 5-seater, yes.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
I thought they were 4.
No, these are 5. Which cars do you sit in? Okay, maybe. Okay.
Well, the question is, Paul, the question is, there's a global phasing out of fuel engines. And, of course, the Kiira EV couldn't have come at the right time. My question is, are we poised to take on the electric car Africa market?
Well, I think it makes sense to have cars, especially for a country like Uganda, which is on the equator, that are run on battery power, because you can probably generate this power using solar. However, I think we need to temper our excitement. I think, see, they're at the prototype stage. That means basically they've managed to cobble together pieces and made a car, which is not a small feat, but we're very far away from mass production of this car, even before we even talk about commercial production, mass production. So I saw that we're going to spend about 124 billion shillings over the next few years setting up the whole operation. As I said, it's nothing to frown upon. But I think it's just not the right thing for us to be going into.
What are you saying?
Yeah, I mean, look. What is the competitive advantage? How much can you produce that car compared to the Chinese?
They said you can, if you order for one, it'll take about 6 months for it to be done.
6 months. There's a company in America which has become quite successful for producing electric cars now. It's Tesla. Tesla produces a car in 6 hours. So we're talking about 6 months. I mean, we are still in early stages.
Yes.
It may never even happen, by the way, that this car is produced by Uganda. We might sell the technology actually if it can be patented or licensed or whatever. We might be able to sell, but we just are not. This is not where we should be focusing our energy.
I can't believe you. You're very negative about this.
I don't know whether it's being negative or being pragmatic. It's like you going through all your life, P1 to P7 and S1 to S4, S6, and they decide, Lynn is good in music and drama, dance and drama. We've seen your trend right from childhood. Then you go to university to do electrical engineering. I mean, everyone will say, what's going on? Why would you want to set yourself up for failure? It's not a bad idea. I mean, it's not. As I said, it's not a thing to frown upon. It's not an achievement to frown upon. It's a serious achievement to create a prototype. People will try and they fail. We have managed to, but to believe that we will produce cars, mass production of cars under our current circumstances.
What circumstances are there that will not enable us?
Look, first of all, as I said, we have no competitive advantage doing this, meaning that we don't do it better than most. Most. We don't do it at all. We have other things we have a competitive advantage at, which would be best advised to exploit to their full potential.
I mean, we do coffee, we do...
But we just do, all we do in Uganda with coffee?
Milk.
all we do with all those things, we say, we just grow them, and we don't even produce them very well. We're not even very efficient producers of these things. So there's so much scope for us to, we have, interestingly, that you talk about coffee, we have the biggest coffee plantation in Africa, in Uganda, here in Tiana. Oh. It's Kawere Coffee. Kawere Coffee, they take their soil samples, okay, I mix it up, but they take their soil samples and leaf samples to Brazil and London for testing. I forget the thing. Why isn't Uganda, the largest exporter of coffee in Africa, not able to provide those services? You see, the places where we have a natural advantage. I mean, I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain it any better. Okay. A car, you're going to import the lights. You're going to import the body. No, I mean, look, it's nice, it's sexy, it's nice, it's exciting. It's exciting, but I mean the practicality of it. Kenya tried this in the 90s. Eh? They produced a car. They actually produced a car. When the president went to launch it, it couldn't go one trip around the field. This one is, of course, better. But yeah, we just don't have the competitive advantage to do this. We can train our kids in design and we can actually build up pools of people who can do these things. And now with better communication, they can actually be working for companies in other countries. Like some of the kids, the scientists of who actually produced the first prototype are no longer in Uganda. They've been taken over in other countries abroad because the intellectual property.
So that is what we're good at, selling our people.
Intellectual property is a big deal, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
We shouldn't think that the world has moved beyond selling goods. Now, intellectual property. Yes. I sit down here and I design a thing and I sell millions for it. Bill Gates designed the code and became a billionaire before he was 50 years old, 40 years old, I think. So intellectual property is also nothing to be frowned upon, and it's not selling people. The intellectual property, actually, the people can be here selling their properties. So it's a good thing. Let's not, I don't want to, I'm not raining on the parade, but is it really the thing we should be looking into in this third world country of ours?
Well, with the deadlines of phasing out fuel engines, I mean, it's the right time.
Are we the best, most efficient producers of electrical engines in the world?
The
Chinese are churning out millions of cars a week, of electric cars a week.
Honestly, I don't know why you're very negative about this.
You know, in a situation where there's finite resource, in a situation where you have opportunity cost of resources, if I spend money on a Kiira, 124 billion on a Kiira, that means there are few kids who will not get into a quality primary education because they don't have buildings. We're not even talking about teachers yet. Buildings, benches, blackboards, roofs over their heads. That's what 124 billion, the cost, it's opportunity cost. If you spend here, you'll not have here. Health services, I mean, we're having, cancer is getting out of hand now. We should be having full-fledged
okay, Paul.
Stuff.
Now what?
Well, sadly, the reality is just going to strike whoever makes these decisions. At some point, given all this competition for the resources, you'll have to drop some things. Unfortunately, the Kiira EV project might be one of those things. Unless oil comes to totally, flood the place with money and make such things possible.
Oil is still
away. We know it's away. It was supposed to have come out of the ground in 2009. We're in 2019 now.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.